Black people destroyed my rental car business, and I am forever done. As of January 1st, 2025, I am closing doors on my rental car business. I have 15 cars, and trust me, it's been nothing but a lot of problems when it comes to my own people. That's really sad. You would think black people would support a black business and treat it kindly. However, they have treated me extremely bad. Now, I'm not here to say that there wasn't any problems with other races of people. However, I will promise you 90% of my problems were from my own people. As an example, here in Orlando, we just had the football classic weekend, and lots of people fly in from all over the country to come to the college football classic weekend. They drive in. It was thousands of people that poured into the city. I rented my cars out for the Orlando Classic weekend, and a lot of my cars came back. Rims are scratched up. One guy totally destroyed a $2,500 rim to my Mercedes. Burn marks in my seats, burn marks in the center console on the leather. I mean, they literally just have no respect for anything, and I'm really tired of it. I'm not the only person complaining about this. There are other black people in the rental car space and YT people and other people of all races that say black people are the #1 problem when it comes to this business. You all have no respect. You tear down everything. You smoke and burn up cars. You do everything. As a matter of fact, one of the worst situations I've also had is when a black woman took my car to South Carolina, left it there, and said she's not returning it because she doesn't feel like it. So a tow truck had to drive from Florida all the way to South Carolina to pick up the car. That's just disrespectful and wrong.
Black immigrants are more successful than black Americans because they outwork us. I said it. Now, I have seen this over and over and over again. If I'm dealing with a black person in any sort of business capacity, you're dealing with people who do not show up on time. You're dealing with people who do not treat their business like a business. They treat it as like, you know, some side project, and, oh, you know, you just broke, man, and, you know, I don't have to give you good service. I don't have to be on time. I don't have to show up like a true professional. Now, black immigrant business owners are very different. They are very hardworking. They show up on time. They come to America with the mentality that they're going to come here and work and build something, whereas black Americans, and yes, I am 100% foundational black American from slaves, okay? That is how black American I am, and I will tell you that black Americans have a very entitled mindset. We're always waiting on somebody to do something for us. We are always waiting on government handouts. We are always waiting on somebody to do something for us. And when we get positions and when we actually have businesses, have companies or whatever, 9 times out of 10, they're run terribly. I have had some of the most terrible experiences that you can ever have when deciding to deal with black American business owners. Now, you know, don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't hate me for saying what is really real. Black immigrants are outpacing black Americans because they outwork us.
Good morning, Africans. I hope you are doing fine where you are, and if you're not doing fine, please do fine where you are. It's good to be fine, and it's never so good not to be so fine. They say that the path a man chooses is his choice. That is what the old people said. They also added that kikulacho king uone mwako. You know, that which feeds on you, that which is parasitic on you, lives within you. It doesn't live very far. That is the best translation I can give. Why am I saying this, by the way? Why am I saying all sayings and this? There's a lot of meaning, and nothing is never new on this earth. That which the old people said was happening during their times. And they said as well that nothing is new under the sun. That which we experience today in Africa, that which we experience now, was experienced before. For this reason, I want to talk about black people and their business, and how black people are working hard to ensure that another black person does not succeed in their own business. It's so hard to create a business, people. It's so hard to create something that will thrive and establish growth. It's so hard. But some people really don't just understand how hard it is for you to grow something. It's so hard to create a business, people. It's so hard to create something that will thrive and establish growth. It's so hard. But some people really don't just understand how hard it is for you to grow something to where it is. people will always show envy. People will always show jealousy. People will always show all kinds of emotion. They want what you have, but they don't want to go through the process. And what is the primary function of the human brain? They will tell me the human brain is there to think, but no. The human brain's primary function is survival. And jealousy is rooted on this very, very concept. Jealousy is when you feel like what you have is less and you want someone else's whom you think is greater. And then we have envy. Envy is now, there's a way these two things work. I just forgot, but that's not the point. The point is you can choose to have jealous. You can't choose to be jealous sometimes, but you can choose to work out of it or to work with it, you know. Some people choose to stay within the jealousy itself. Some people choose to leave it. Some people choose to use it to propel themselves without hurting the other party. And a black brother is giving a testimony to what I'm telling you right now of how black people, he's a black American by the way, he's sharing his testimony on how black people are working so hard to destroy his car rental business. Black people, he says that even when white people come and hire cars from him, they return it in a very, very decent way. But this individual is saying black people don't want fellow black people to thrive. And this thing happens. We've seen black Africans complaining when they go to the US. Some Africans complain that black Americans don't like them. We've heard of this news. You know, some black Americans complain when they come to Africa that Africans don't like them. You know, when you don't like someone, you tend to perceive that they are greater, or rather, if they didn't hurt you, you think they are better than you. You know, jealousy is something which has made me, myself, personally, lose a lot of friends. Yeah, jealousy. Jealousy. But myself, I don't remember me hating my friend for having things. Because there's a time when you didn't have nothing and they had something, you know. Now that they got something and you didn't have, it was okay. But now you have something that they don't have, you become an enemy. Jealousy is something which has taken so many into the grave, you know. Now, I don't want to talk much about jealousy and stuff. I want us to watch this video and then let's watch it. Let's listen to what the lamenting brother has to say. And then, of course, I shall share with you my thoughts by the end of the video, where we shall also have a deep critical analysis. Let's dive in.
Hello, guys. So yesterday I did a video and I talked about Asian people not supporting black-owned businesses, and I saw a lot of comments, you know, how people said, yeah, they want to keep the money in the community, this, that. Beautiful comments. I hear it. But I want to address another scenario, another situation, actually, that I think it's a conversation that we're avoiding, but I'm going to have that conversation. Don't come for me. If you come for me, I'll come for you. Don't come for me. But let's talk. So, black-owned businesses, I love you. Me personally, I will support my people. I'll support my own. I will come out to your shops. I'll come out to your restaurants. As a matter of fact, there's a shop that I would travel to 40 minutes from my house just to go and buy something from there. That's how far I would go to support. I would even go even further just to buy stuff from a black-owned business. Do you know what I mean? But black-owned businesses, come. Guys. Okay, let's talk. So, it seemed like when God was creating black people, customer service was a word that was not yet created. So, we kind of lack it. But there's room for change. Say amen. Amen. Okay. I've been to a few black-owned places. And when I tell you that the customer service I have experienced, the customer service that I've experienced, we have this thing where we're too familiar with each other. So when you see your fellow black person in your business, you treat them anyhow. But when you see another race that come to your business, you want to celebrate them. You want to make them feel special. No, we are the special people. We are coming to support you because we see you. We're coming to support your businesses because we see you and we want you to win. Do you understand? When I come into your shop to buy plantain, I've passed like 5 other shops to buy plantain. So I want to come into your shop because I want to see you win with your plantain profits. Yes. When I come to your restaurant, it's not because I can't cook. I can cook in my house. But I come to your restaurant because, you know what, brother? I see that you've opened a place. I see what you're trying to do here. I see that you're trying to bring our culture in here. So I want you to win. It's not because I can't see in my house I make jollof. I can make jollof. But we see you. Guys, just please work on your customer service. I've been to a few African places, a few black-owned places, and when I tell you, if it's not their customer service, it's their wait times. Oh my Lord. A black-owned business will make you understand that part in the Bible that says patience is a virtue. I will just be holding that scripture close to my heart whilst waiting for my food. Because if I leave here now, you guys will wait 5 hours. Do you not know you're a restaurant? Operating restaurant? Do you not know that people, when you open that restaurant, did you not expect customers? Did you not? Did you not expect customers? Because why am I now there and you're acting like, oh, you're here? Hey, let me go and buy food. Let me go and buy the stuff that I need to make. No. Bro, you knew I was coming. You knew that a customer would walk into that door. Be ready. Black-owned businesses, be ready. Stay ready. Stop these 5 hours wait times. I ain't waiting on the Lord. I'm waiting for food. Please. Please. We want to come out to you. We want to support you. Your customer service. And then the ones that will start humble. They will start nice. They will smile at you. And then as soon as they've gained like a big, client base, or they're becoming now more popular and more busy, their customer service runs and leaves them behind. Tell your village people to leave you alone. Do not let pride scatter your shoulder. Don't let pride do that to you. Because as soon as some of these businesses become very well established, it seemed like they were being nice just to keep the customers. And as soon as they've become well established, you now become rude. Black-owned businesses, don't do that. We want to support you. We want to come to you. We want to be there. We see you and we want you to win. So I'm telling you this from my heart. Take it. If you leave it, we'll go to Asian people.
Black people destroyed my rental car business, and I am forever done. As of January 1st, 2025, I am closing doors on my rental car business. I have 15 cars, and trust me, it's been nothing but a lot of problems when it comes to my own people. That's really sad. You would think black people would support a black business and treat it kindly. However, they have treated me extremely bad. Now, I'm not here to say that there wasn't any problems with other races of people. However, I will promise you 90% of my problems were from my own people. As an example, here in Orlando, we just had the football classic weekend, and lots of people fly in from all over the country to come to the college football classic weekend. They drive in. It was thousands of people that poured into the city. I rented my cars out for the Orlando Classic weekend, and a lot of my cars came back. Rims are scratched up. One guy totally destroyed a $2,500 rim to my Mercedes. Burn marks in my seats, burn marks in the center console on the leather. I mean, they literally just have no respect for anything, and I'm really tired of it. I'm not the only person complaining about this. There are other black people in the rental car space, and YT people, and other people of all races that say black people are the #1 problem when it comes to this business. You all have no respect. You tear down everything. You smoke and burn up cars. You do everything. As a matter of fact, one of the worst situations I've also had is when a black woman took my car to South Carolina, left it there, and said she's not returning it because she doesn't feel like it. So a tow truck had to drive from Florida all the way to South Carolina to pick up the car. That's just disrespectful and wrong.
Black immigrants are more successful than black Americans because they outwork us. I said it. Now, I have seen this over and over and over again. if I'm dealing with a black person in any sort of business capacity, you're dealing with people who do not show up on time. You're dealing with people who do not treat their business like a business. They treat it as like, you know, some side project and, oh, you know, you just broke, man. And, you know, I don't have to give you good service. I don't have to be on time. I don't have to show up like a true professional. Now, black immigrant business owners are very different. They are very hardworking. They show up on time. They come to America with the mentality that they're going to come here and work and build something, whereas black Americans, and yes, I am 100% foundational black American from slaves, okay? That is how black American I am, and I will tell you that black Americans have a very entitled mindset. We're always waiting on somebody to do something for us. We are always waiting on government handouts. We are always waiting on somebody to do something for us. And when we get positions and when we actually have businesses, have companies or whatever, 9 times out of 10, they're run terribly. I have had some of the most terrible experiences that you can ever have when deciding to deal with black American business owners. Now, you know, don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't hate me for saying what is really real. Black immigrants are outpacing black Americans because they outwork us.
But why is it so hard for us as a people to be professional? Maybe it's because I was adopted and I was raised by white people and I saw organizations like, oh, you show up to an appointment on time and you get served on time.
You have to stop this narrative that black-owned businesses are somehow less professional. In fact, let me go somewhere. I'm at Island House, a black-owned business on Nostrand and St. Mark's Avenue, and I've just purchased a passion fruit ice pop. This idea that black people just aren't as professional or that their business aren't run as professionally is dangerous, especially when you consider how many black-owned restaurants, barbershops, salons, black contractors, black handymen, people who have been pillar stones of their communities, filling in gaps where white businesses often don't. It seems very insulting to make this implication that we as a people just aren't as capable of moving as professionally, especially when you consider what happens when white businesses run unsuccessfully. Sure, a poorly run black business might mean that your hair doesn't get done on time or in the way that you want it to, but we never caused the housing market crash. And after 2008, nobody was like, that's why you just can't let white people invest money. I'm just saying that getting online and saying that, well, maybe it's because I'm the child of 2 adoptive white parents that I just don't understand why you black people can't act professionally. You could see how that could come across as, you know, a little funny. Just further adding to this idea that black people aren't allowed to be individuals and must answer for the actions of every single black person ever, whereas white people can destroy entire economies and just chill on it. Anyhow, this wasn't a super educational video. That video.
The dollar in the Jewish community turns over 12 times before it ever leaves. In the Indian community, 10 times. In the African American community, less than 1. As it lands, you can't wait to take the money and spend it somewhere else.
Did you know that nowadays the black dollar only stays in the black community for 6 hours before it sees a white person's hands, and that same dollar wouldn't see a black person's hands again for 8 months? Now let's rewind to early 1900s. That black dollar would have stayed in our community for 5 to 6 months, circulating 35 to 100 different times, meeting 100 different hands before it ever made its way out of our community. And the way that we did that, y'all, is celebrating and supporting, investing in black businesses. We can do it, y'all. There's so many options. There's so many options. Don't be scared of prices. It's fine. Look at it as an investment. Look at it as this is what it takes to uplift my people. And that's exactly what it is. This is what it takes to uplift my people. Soon enough, you will feel exactly what the fuck they felt in the early 1900s. That sense of community, that sense of being a...
White Americans have way more advantages than black Americans.
I think that the answer is because you're white in the past, and that's how it kind of carries over to today. You know, even in times of the United States history where black people have tried to build wealth, you know, with the Tulsa riots and everything, yes, where, yeah, this wealth has been destroyed. And something that's upsetting to me is when conservatives talk about how we can't blame the past for what's happening in the present. That is true to some extent, but then the next breath they'll talk about how important it is to have dual-parent households, how important it is to have a strong family, to have responsibility passed on from parent to child. And we've seen in the past that because of racial issues, that process has been severely disrupted.
The funny thing is that agreeing with all these things is when I did my research when I was younger, which arrived me to my standpoint of being a conservative, because I believed it was racist, Democrat, liberal ideologies and policies dating all the way back to the 1800s, all the way up to the 1960s, and then the purported big switch. But I think it was more so when Democrats decided to be a bit more cloak and dagger about their true opinions of black people and be more secretive and more, oh, we want to help you by, doing these things and seeing them as inferior.
Doing what things?
Affirmative action, welfare, all sorts of things that eventually ruin our culture and place us where we are now.
So
but I want to get back to the history of it, because we're talking about...
Well, I just want to make sure we're clear. Giving them money hurt them, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yes, giving them, because if your father's out of the home, that's when we give you the money. If you're living in this housing,
so then give them the money while the dad's
rent-free,
well, then give them the money while the dad's in the home.
If you're working this amount of hours and getting less than this amount of dollars, you're getting money from the government. Yes, it is incentivizing.
You're throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
I don't even know what that means in this scenario, because yes,
you want to
talk about throwing babies out with the bathwater? Margaret Sanger wanted to exterminate the black race because she thought they were weeds. So yeah, we can literally talk about throwing the baby out with the bathwater. That's what Margaret Sanger, that's what Democrat policies wanted to do to my people. So that's why I feel so strongly about it, because it is these policies that date back centuries that were built off of the death and poverty of my people.
Let's take a breath.
So, I'm breathing.
Okay.
So a lot of babies aren't, but I am, sadly.
I don't know what that means. When I say throw the baby out with the bathwater, you want to completely get rid of welfare, okay? Or at least the I don't want to put that on you, you haven't said that, but the conservative apparatus does, clearly. So giving money to a group of people does not hurt them.
I mean, sure, if you're talking about a lottery, just take money. But there are strings attached to that money.
Take all the money.
There are strings attached to that money.
Give them millions. Make them all millionaires. I don't care. Giving money to black people does not hurt them.
And that has not happened, though. That has not happened.
What do you mean?
That has not happened.
It
hasn't been a reparations. It hasn't been this or that. It has been a welfare program, French Societies Act, that was built off of the idea of, hey, we get these families split up, we get these people living here.
So then let them keep the family together and keep all the money.
I mean, I guess so.
Now, this was a very profound testimonies that we've gotten to hear from different brothers and sisters living in the United States of America. Just going back to what I told you in the beginning of the video about envy, about I did tell you something about, when you are familiar to someone or something, there is some kind of disrespect that builds up. So there's also a saying that the old people said, familiarity breeds contempt. Yeah. Familiarity breeds contempt. Now, these ladies, most of them are ladies who are complaining. They are saying that black-owned business are unprofessional. This is far-fetched from what the brother in the beginning of the video said, where he complained that black people who come to rent his cars are not professional with how they rent the cars and all that. That one now is on the customer end. This one now is in the service end, the service provider. I think there's two things I can gather from these videos. When we can't say this is a black problem, maybe we can say it's a black problem, because even here in Africa, we have Indians. We have Indians and we have Africans. The Indians are very professional in their works. We also have black people, a few of them. Yeah, I have friends with shops. I have Indian friends as well. Accomplices, I can call them acquaintances. Yeah, they treat you professionally, Whether you are black or what, they see the money you bring them. They don't see a familiar face that comes every now and then. In fact, when they see you every now and then, they become excited, they become happy that you come to bring them money, you come to bring them good business. But some of us black people, some is a keyword please, some, not all. So some of us are very egoistic, we have pride. You are just nice when you are growing the business. But once your business has really catched, once you gain numbers, you stop treating people as you used to. When you used to bring them a glass of water when they get to your shop, now you don't do that. When you used to have some seats, now you don't have the seats. You think the seats are now occupying space, you remove them and you make them stand. We have bus stations that treat people that way. We have so many of them. So I can say that it's a problem that we also face here in Africa. you know. And this brother, another brother also said that black people are not serious in their business. They treat business like a joke. They treat business like, you know, I don't know what's about it, you know. But somehow, something deep inside is telling me that this is not a black problem. This is a human problem. It's only that it is prevalent to the black people, you know. We are so much disorganized, and in disunity, the enemy finds entrance. When we are disunited, the enemy finds a way, finds a loophole, a way that he can come and exploit us. But now when we are united, when we put in professionalism, we have strength, you know. You don't call out unnecessary competition. Just being professional and respecting a black business, because it's not only the person, the customer, who should complain. The service provider should complain as well. If you don't want to offer good service to a brother, you'll expect them, just expect them to complain, you know. And you who is taking the service, who is being provided the service, just be professional yourself as well. When somebody gives you their car, don't go and salvage the car. Cars are not cheap, you know. You should treat them well. When a black business has grown, don't despise those people who built your business now that you have many other people. You know, the sister was able to say that when other races came to the shop, the owners of those shops treated them differently. But when black people came, no, it's the same. It's not the same actually. It's severely bad. Why would we want to show a different face to another race, but to one who is like us, we don't show them respect? Charity begins at home. Charity begins here at home. You can't say you like me or you love me if you don't like your brother or you don't like your sister. I don't think you like me. You like what I have. Or maybe you like something else. If you don't like your brother or your sister, you are lying. Love yourself and love your family first is when you bring that love outside. That is how it goes. That is how it happens. Of course, there is some variables that comes with this, but the rule of the law is you can't say that you love another race when you hate your own race. That is the point. Black-owned business can thrive. We have people like Tyler Perry. We have people like Oprah Winfrey. We have Dangote. We have so many of these guys. You understand? These guys have not just made their wealth in a one night. No. It took time, you know. They practice some principles. They practice some disciplines. And this is the same disciplines I'm sharing with you. From these people, you have a business, or maybe you give service provision. Learn from this video. Learn that treat your customers equal. Those people who came first, those people who are there when you are still a small business, don't change your ways for them and become bad to them. Just be nice as the same way you are nice to your new customers. Yeah. I don't have much to say in this video because I think we've learned so much, and we've known that businesses which are owned by blacks are both affected by the customer and the service provider. And if we can work on both sides, then we won't have any further complaints. That is the main aim of this video, to enlighten you. Yeah. So kindly subscribe. I will so much appreciate your support. Subscribe, and what else? Support me on Patreon. Give me a super thanks. I will so much appreciate. You understand? Yeah, support your black brother. Start with me.